All right. Hey, everybody. It's another episode of the workshop. I'm Alisha Rayne. This is Thursday, December 17th. I'm taking over for the other girl. I don't remember her name, but she's a fabulous host. We're sorry that she's not here tonight. Victoria, yes. So, but yeah, we're all here. Again, I'm Alisha Rayne. I'm out of South Dakota. And then Jeremy, where are you coming out of again? Out of Vietnam? Jolie.
Hello.
Where are you
also
coming
Vietnam.
from? Yeah.
It feels like it sometimes. Cleveland.
All right. And
Ontario,
then,
Canada.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. At the end of the workshop, we'll just kind of have everyone just do a little like, hey, this is what's up for me. But until then, we'll just kind of get started. I think everyone knows what's up. Everyone got a subject ahead of time and wrote a couple of bits on that subject, and we'll kind of give feedback on the jokes that they wrote about it. And then round two, we'll do our own material and then give feedback on that. So I take it everybody's ready to go? Yeah. Sort of. All right. All right. I'm going to have Jeremy go first this time.
Ooh. My topic was royalty. All right, my topic was royalty. I started with Royalty, Texas, which is a city in the state of Texas, and the population in 1990 was 196 people, and the population currently is far under 50 people. So I don't know why they couldn't just give it a number like far under 50 is easily countable. That's dumb, I know. My girlfriend, I told her we were going to go to Paris and Rome, and then we just rented a car and we made the 2-hour drive from Paris, Texas to Rome, Texas. Well, she wanted to go from Rome to Paris, so we went the other way, but that's dumb as well. The name royalty is a boy's name, but in fact, it's only 5% of the population of boys or of children named royalty are actually boys. So this is one of those unisex names that is not so truly unisex. But it sounds like a lot of single parents are hoping the best for their daughters and not understanding history and the fall of most of the monarchies around the world. So good for you guys. The Crown. Anyone seen the news interviews with Prince Andrew basically admitting to having underage sex on the Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself island? That one's dumb too. The royal. Speaking of the royal family, there are so many bathrooms in the castle that there's one specifically for the royal we. Just a pee joke. Do you guys think that the crown is worn while taking a shit? Yeah, I do believe that. Or well, I mean, it is true. I don't believe the conspiracy theorists that say that the queen doesn't shit. I don't believe that. I think she does, and I think she shits with the crown on. When I think about the royal family, I think about Mr. Burger King and Little Whopper Jr., and then his sister who started the Wendy's franchise because she has red hair and she believes she's from a different family. Any baseball fans in the house? Did you guys know that the Kansas City Royals got their name from the American Royal, which is a livestock show? They have horses, they have a rodeo, they have a championship barbecue competition ever since 1899 in the city of Kansas City. So this is a perfect example of an American thing to do. You take some horse shit, you add violence, You throw in a reason to get fatter, and then you call it some type of American supremacy. And then that's how you get yourself a World Series way to make money. World Series being baseball, guys. Come on. USA. So as much of as the English language wanted to escape being under the British control to free America, we're still under Canada. So something about the pecking order. Americans were dumbasses. We went from being number 2 under England to now being number 3 under Canada. Most commonly referred to as Narnia from the children's book The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Or as Canadians might know, the We Charity controversy, which was lying, Queen Elizabeth, which is a witch, and Quebec, which is the closet. I thought there'd be more Canadians in here, guys. I wrote that specifically to make fun of them. Yeah, and any of these jokes that you guys want to use on your Netflix specials, just give me a little royalties, and they're all yours. That's all I got.
Nice.
Woo!
Hey.
All right. Some good
You
stuff.
don't have to give no feedback on that.
Why, are you going to be royal
Oh,
flushing
yes,
this
we
material?
do.
What?
Are you going to be royal flushing this material? Is that why?
Good one, good one.
I was just gonna add one toke about the pooping in the crown. I was gonna say some shits that I've taken, I felt like I was crowning.
Oh.
Isn't that how all shit start?
Well, yeah, but they did.
Isn't that just
I think
natural
crowning is.
order
I think
things?
crowning is once it's you get to like 10 centimeters of dilation, and that's when it gets worrying.
Isn't that when you're away from the bathroom, though? Is when you should be worried.
Very dogged.
You're
yeah, I like
in an
fairy dog.
accident. This is disturbing.
A little bit. I don't know. That's when I've heard about
Trying to meet you. Trying to meet that bar you set with these here jokes, eh? How about some Europe? Talk about Europe. How about the Europe joke? We want to get a little more erudite about it. The Rome and the Paris joke. That has some.
Oh,
The premise of that.
but that's
has
true.
Legs.
That was good.
Well, yeah. So the premise. So it looks like you did a lot of fact finding, and you constructed premises around the fact. And now I kind of want to know like your opinions around the fact. Like the premise is good. And like, what is it about the comparison of Rome to Paris in Texas and Rome to Paris in Europe? I feel like it could be a commentary about the tourism industry in general. Like people go there because it's just the name and like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
Like I feel like there's
some
more meat
people
there.
drive for days. Some people drive for days to get to Paris, and they're like, "Oh, this ain't what we thought it was."
Oh, definitely European loyalties, a topic that has legs. And thanks to the inbreeding of European royalty, some of them have three or more legs apiece.
Coming out of here too. Talk about crowning. These guys know how to crown. Got big old buttholes. That's how you keep from inbreeding. You just gotta make the butthole wide.
I don't know. Do you do
Okay.
that bit? Do you
This
not
is
do that
live,
bit?
right?
Kind of the Queen's Gambit.
No, I just find it funny to make fun of the Queen, and like, because I'm American and that's what we're supposed to do. But then, like, when that chick, the princess or whatever, was getting married or whoever, we're all about that shit. Like, we don't want to be part of you guys' society, but we want to, like, share the glory of your prince and princesses getting married. I don't care.
She was an American princess.
They all are American princesses. It's like we're the third world to come and get princesses.
I had a tag about your using the name royalty, like having
Yeah, I
that.
forgot to mention my friend. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, like, having the name royalty could be like a famous, like the Kardashians, that's their next child's name, or like the Smiths, just a famous person having a funky name like that.
Yeah, I was trying to insinuate that those people that name their children royalty don't know about history. Like, I met some girl, her name was Alexis, and I think in the Kanye West CD, he's like, you named your daughter Alexis because you couldn't afford a Lexus. So that's why I think that was my thought on royalty. Like, you're never going to be royalty, so we might as well name you royalty so that at least you've gotten close.
That's a joke right there, right?
No.
Although saying what the future of babies is going to be like is somewhat pretentious, and you can't actually prove that you're right, that they won't be something. So it seems kind of
true. Yeah.
Don't bet against babies is always what I say.
Right. Don't bet against babies unless it's in a baby eating contest.
Or what if it's baby versus baby? Then it's okay, right?
Right. Then
Okay,
but then you kind of like
you gotta pick a baby.
It as betting for a certain baby that you want to win the death match, and that's how you just approach that situation.
I think the reason that we don't have fighting baby contests is because they don't fight. You can't get a baby to fight. Like the time it takes to train a baby to fight another baby, it's not a baby by the time it gets there. It's terrible too, and then it's like a little more. It's a little strange.
Well, if you give one baby the other baby's toy, and then the other baby the other baby's toy, then they may fight for like a second until they exchange the toys.
Babies are cute.
I'm gonna go lots of bite marks, stuff like that. I don't know, death.
Babies don't really have teeth in where I'm from. And
well, a 2-year-old. She was talking about her 2-year-old, so.
It's got one tooth.
All right. Well, some good stuff there. I don't know if you'll think any of it's usable, but I thought there was some good stuff. So, yeah.
I don't know how I'd work it into a set, but yeah, maybe.
For sure. All right. I'm going to go to Jester next.
Oh, okay. So my assigned topic was decentralization, which is just a whirlwind of fun. So here's a little breakdown of centralized versus decentralized organizational and managerial structure. Examples of things that might help you to identify a more centralized power dynamic within an organization would be, for example, if the boss man calls himself the owner / CEO / chairman of the board. Or another example might be for, say, if the executive's son-in-law were put in charge of the opioid crisis, the Middle East peace, criminal justice reform, as well as being chief liaison to Mexico, China, and the entire Muslim world. Now, that would be very, very centralized. Many businesses that can restructure to be more decentralized have done so. And to be honest, my inner monologue is way better at telling me I'm doing a bad job than my boss was ever capable of doing. So that's an improvement in managerial oversight. And basically, the pandemic was like the almighty God himself declaring that this meeting could have been an email. Also, one thing that's become decentralized is schools. I have a couple of questions about how that works. I know one of the things they've done is they've grouped everybody into classes. So like rather you're not necessarily in a 4th grade or a 5th grade class with the students nearby you. You're just in other, with other students of that grade, and there's a principal for each grade. I'm kind of just personally worried about how that will affect snow days, because I want that. Maybe it's only if you get snowy reception that you get a snow day. But I kind of like the whole decentralized, like multiple principals, one for each grade. There's different challenges that helps to overcome. There's, changing aversions to cooties over time, which makes encouraging social distancing gradually more and more difficult. And honestly, that makes me think of why America got me bugging, because they're all acting like a bunch of 7th graders who just got into puberty and are trying to get some cooties. I don't know what's going on with all that. Another example of a decentralized organizational method would be in the development of open source software. Now, there's one app in particular that I use frequently, and it's called GIMP. GIMP. Now, it is not what it sounds like. It is an acronym for GNU Image Manipulation Program. GNU stands for GNU's Not Linux. The GNU in GNU's Not Linux stands for GNU's Not Linux. The GNU in GNU's Not Linux, it goes on forever in an infinite recursive series. Now, despite having infinitely recursive names that cannot be written in their fullest form, and also therefore cannot be bound to a hex and unholy scripts, it's not, well, you know, I say that you couldn't bind that software by name into a spell, but that is not to say that GIMP does not run as if it was created by a cursed wizard. Now, that's why I use Photoshop. I'm a big Photoshop user, and Adobe certainly takes their pound of flesh. Or normally this is a Canadian room, so they take their 0.454 kilograms of flesh, or after conversion, 120 Canadian dollars, Canadian Dueler loonies, post-flesh conversion. But these are the terms I agreed to. My options are to be humiliatingly bound or GIMP. That's my time.
Okay.
All right.
That would sound like a tough topic.
Yeah!
They're all kind of tough.
They're all dumb.
And I got distracted by nap time. You said like there was separate rules for different levels of the school, and
Yeah.
I'm like, nap time as like a 11th grader would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because I would have actually took a nap.
For
That's
me,
study
nap
hall, right?
time was just called Spanish class.
Mm.
For me, it was detention.
Dormir mucho. And
I didn't do nap time in high school. But when I went to college, nap time was the first class, because usually we stayed up all night doing cocaine, playing Monopoly. So, like, you would get to class and there's no more cocaine, so you just took a nap.
Well, I'll be honest, that's the weirdest sentence I've ever heard, but it's the one way I've ever heard of to get through a game of Monopoly quickly.
No, it lasted all night. That's why we were still awake in the morning. Like, we're like, oh shit, we gotta go to school in 15 minutes. Cancel the Monopoly. Pause. Put your money somewhere so that it doesn't get mixed in with anyone else's money.
That's hilarious.
And I'm at school with like a wallet full of Monopoly money.
Yeah, me too, man. I live in Canada. Have you seen what our
happens
currency
to most
looks like?
people on Coke.
Yeah, I mean, Coke or no Coke, the Monopoly game ends the same. Somebody just angrily flipping over the board.
Yeah.
All right.
But we ran out of Coke, yeah.
I've had friends
God damn it!
over games of Monopoly.
Yeah.
All
All right.
I liked your nerdy code jokes. Your nerdy code jokes were fun. I think that code is like pervasive truth in our culture, but most people who don't do code don't understand it and they just don't get it. So kind of disambiguating it and creating analogies around it helps to unpack it for people who don't understand it. And I think that can be very valuable.
I have one bit
Yeah.
where I did that I don't, now that you mention it, I wouldn't mind sharing it, because now that you mentioned, okay. So I was going to explain I was going to talk about cloud computing, and I tested this material, but I mostly just came off as both angry and boring, which wasn't a great mix. But the one good bit of that that did come out is my analogy of cloud computing is like back in an old school classroom when one independent node within the classroom would fart, all of the other members of the group would respond to that information independently. And I couldn't really take it that much further, because it's still, even though it included farts, it was still system mechanics.
Some people would fart. Some people would be like, ew, gross.
Yeah.
Some people would tell the teacher, hey, Jester's over here farting.
It was a distributed command. Yeah, with an ad hoc reaction system. Rather,
I liked when you said bound by a hex. That was a fun one. Sorry, I just got you off.
yeah, no, I went from scripting to spell writing somehow. God, I just missed.
There was a wizard in there for sure.
Yeah, I heard wizard. Yeah,
there was a wizard thing. Yeah.
Oh, the pound of flesh thing also was interesting. I've never heard that before. Have you guys heard that before? The pound of flesh reference?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
No, it's something to do with not like the pound of brain as well. There's like 9 pounds of brain, or I don't know. But I've heard that saying before, but I don't know what it applies to.
Paying a pound of flesh is like, you know, a tax that you pay off of your livelihood. It's kind of like, you know, the procedural way of saying paying an arm and a leg.
It's a Shakespeare reference.
It sounds like becoming an adult. Like, you're an adult now. You have to pay your adult tax. Give me some of your happiness.
All right.
No. It's mine.
All right. Well, I think there's some good stuff there. Any other response to Jester? Good news?
No news is good news.
Okay. There you go. I like that. All right. Jolie, she's excited.
Good evening.
Still irritated at me because I didn't let her in the room. That was an accident. It was a mistake.
What? When did you get the impression that I was irritated? I'm cool, man. This is a fun show.
Cool face.
This is great. I love the workshop.
What an introduction.
My topic tonight is fermentation. A party without alcohol is an intervention.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't drink either have no idea how to have fun or like they really, really do. There's different kinds of drunk, right? Wine drunk. Wine drunk is taking a dog home from the pound because it seems lonely. The beer drunk is taking a dog home from the pound because it seems like it's been in some good fights. It's a fighting dog. Yeah, drinking sucks. Alcohol down your throat. Yeast. Let's talk about yeast, okay? Yeast is insane. It's absolutely insane. Yeast is pervasive in our environments. Yeast colonizes better than white guys. You know, you throw it in a melting pot and it'll give you something to tax. You can bet your bottom dollar. Yep. Yeast life. Yeast life is straight up easy street. All day long. Burp, piss, and eat. Burp, piss, eat. Burp, piss, eat. Sound like someone you know? Jester?
Yeah.
Jeremy? Okay, more specifically, yeast eats sugar, it burps carbon dioxide, and it pisses out alcohol. Even more similar to all of us, right?
That's pretty accurate.
But unlike us, I hope, yeast is vegan. Seems kind of surprising to me that something with so many human characteristics would be perceived as vegan. Yeah, but you know, if yeast wasn't vegan, where would hipsters be? They are some fermentation lovers. Yes. Oh, I love the workshop. Yeast is free range. It's open source. You can make yeast just by sitting something out for too long. It's everything that makes hipsters wet. Okay? You can cultivate yeast from thin air in a 3-grand shoebox apartment in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. You know? And it goes yeast goes against everything that the corporate machine makes us want to value, you know, and it gets us drunk. Amber Waves of Grain, right? You know that song, the oh beautiful one. That song was clearly written by a drunk person, and it's like the fabric of our culture, you know. Purple Mountain's Majesty, really? How many Purple Mountains have you ever seen? Really? The hipsters are fermenting. They're fermenting while they lament. They're lamenting. They're fomenting. They're fermenting. That's hipsterdom. There are lots of fermentables in hipster culture, okay? The Ball Corporation. Let's talk about the Ball Corporation for just a minute. You know Balls. You know Ball. Ball, the maker of the mason jar, okay? Their stock has doubled over the past 2 years. I shit you not, from $43 to $97. What did it? What was it? What was the watershed moment that got hipsters fermenting? You know, I think it was the same thing that got them wearing the beards, same thing that got them wearing the flannel shirts and the trucker hats, and that is not giving a fuck. You know? They forget to shave, they forget to get all dressed up, and they forget to eat their food before it goes bad. So, you know, now we're just going to pretend it tastes good, and we're going to sell courses that teach everyone else how to make it like we did, because we're the ones in the bands. And we're clearly cooler than you, so, like, are you going to buy this lifestyle or not? Beer. Beer is the third most popular drink on earth after water and tea. Okay? Wine, you know, it's catching on, but long ago someone said it was the blood of Christ, so it's been tough to recover. Tough for wine. And guess what? We've got boozy tea now, so there's that. That's kombucha. Contamination is a big issue when it comes to fermentables. You got to keep the antiseptic environment. In that way, people who brew, they feel a lot like doctors. Bless them. They have this surrogate hobby that makes them feel very official. That's good, you know. When you look at fermentables, they're the ones that are good for you, right? Like, and they're the ones that are bad for you. Beer isn't good for you. Beer is bad. There's no reason that you should ever drink beer. But you got your kimchi, you got anything with vinegar, you got your kombucha, you got your pickles, your sauerkraut. That's the good stuff. And coincidentally, if you eat too many fermentables, people have got to drink a lot more fermentables to want to fuck you because you smell bad. The end. Thank you very much.
I wrote down yeast only live once. I don't know. You were talking about hipsters, so.
You're right about. There's more meat on the fermenting hipster bone. Like they not only can you make fun of them more, but you should. It's a deep well, and they deserve it. And you're also right about how yeast is just so easy to make. According to some of my ex-girlfriends, I've even made it by accident sometimes, apparently.
And
is that thrush?
Pardon?
Is that called thrush?
That's called a yeast infection, bro.
It's like a yeast infection or something.
Yeah, but thrush is a yeast infection inside your mouth from eating a vagina with a yeast infection.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, is what you should have used.
It's a red flag when you go into somebody's bathroom and find medicine for those purposes, and you're like, "What is thrush?" And you ask Google, and now that's in your search history.
I thought it was a bird.
So Jeremy goes through people's medicine cabinets, but he has good reason to, because he goes out with chicks who look like they could have a yeast infection, and he's curious.
Oh, I was naked.
Can I just go ahead and interject with the tag for Jolie's joke, if that's all right, Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Jeremy's got someone to text.
Well, the joke about being drunk and adopting a dog. I would say like whiskey drunk is when you forgot you adopted a dog.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You just
I have
wake up
nightmares
with
like that
somebody
all the
licking your
time.
face.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
Licking your face, like you wake up and the dog's licking your face. Like, whoa.
The fermenting the joke, like hipsters love fermentation. It's vegan, but it has gluten in it, like some sort of gluten joke.
Yes. Wheat has gluten. Yes. Yeast is a fungus.
It's a fungus. I thought it. Okay, I wondered. I thought it was like a microorganism, but I didn't know more than that.
I
got
joke
caught up.
about
I got caught up. Not that the
gluten
joke
until you
wasn't
cut it
funny.
out.
I just started getting a science lesson, and I was interested.
I was like making jokes about yeast or about wheat, but they were really lame. Like, wheat, it doesn't bruise like fruit. No wonder there's so much beer.
The thing about wheat jokes, much like wheat, it has to be field tested.
The spreading yeast like white men spread. That was super funny.
Yeah, colonies.
Cool. All right. Anything else? Any other responses? No.
I wrote down fermentational. I don't know if that's a word, but I thought that the hipsters might be like arguing because my kombucha is better than yours. So it's confrontational fermentation. I don't know.
I don't think I've seen a hipster all year. It's been a great
joke
year.
I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I feel like are like hipsters not trending anymore? I feel like I haven't even heard that term in a while.
Well, they've got children now. Lots of them have children. Yeah.
Settling down.
Babies around. Yep. And now the babies are wearing the plaid.
No, yeah, I
It's a different aesthetic.
stopped making fun of hipsters years ago, but honestly, I stopped making fun of hipsters before it was cool.
I feel like there's some flannel onesies out there that probably making a killing.
Try that material in Canada. We're always at least about 9 years or so behind. You can try out all your old material here.
Yeah. I think maybe it was flannel onesies probably stuck a knife in hipsterdom. Because all the flannel onesies come straight from China. Like, they just made hipsters their bitch and took the least common denominator and got everyone and their mom wearing them.
Yeah, that
So
was part of their national onesie per child program.
But what if they died off because the onesies are made with lead thread? It's like lead paint.
Yeah. A weighted onesie.
I love my weighted blanket. That's not a joke. That's just like an unironic endorsement of
It's just in a podcast where comics were talking about weighted blankets. What a bunch of fuck-ups.
Use hashtag promo code Casper, and I don't know. I'm not.
Very, very soothing, that weighted blanket.
Great.
It's good for x-rays as well.
Yes.
Home x-ray kit.
Don't you love it when you're getting an x-ray and the doctor goes and puts on a lead bib and then stands behind a concrete wall and then says to a microphone, "You'll be fine."
It sounds like, I mean, I got some of my dad's old toys from when he was a child, and some of them things were pretty dangerous, like if we look at them from today's perspective. So I can imagine there's like a home x-ray kit, and it's just, yeah, you got like something that puts out all this radiation, and it comes with the lead vest, and you can x-ray your leg.
Yeah, or a bag of glass, you know.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
From bag of glass.
Mm-hmm. just, you know, the old school toys you play with, rusty nails. It's fun. All right.
I had this creepy crawlers thing, and it got pretty hot. Like you could burn
Yeah, I
some
love that
shit with
thing.
that.
That was like
And
the easy bake
you
oven
got
for
these
gross
metal
boys.
steel plates that were like transfer heat very well to your skin, so you can't touch them until they fully cool. Like, it was dangerous, my dad's toys.
Yeah.
Make your own nuclear bomb. That one was a classic.
Ah.
All right. Well, how about we move on? How does that sound?
Let's
To-
move on.
To
I'm
me,
with you.
who forgot her notebook at work. So we're gonna see how this goes. Yeah, so mine was homeostasis, and
Jesus,
so,
they are
What the
really going hard on the
hell?
words this week.
so like physical, like equality, like trying to like basically be well. Everything's in balance. So yeah, I used to get sick all the time. In college, I basically had bronchitis for 2.5 years. And I would get sick so much that I had my own like regiment of like things to get well. So it would be Advil, cold and sinus, which had Sudafed in it, and then 6 more Advil. And then 6 hours later, I would do the same thing. And so, you know, for me, I really liked Sudafed, not for the same reason that other people liked it, like for meth. No, I liked it for what it was originally used for, to dry out my sinuses so bad that sand would get jealous.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. With the laws changing so much, you know, how did it go? I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so like I miss, like with the weed laws changing, like they have dispensaries, you can go to the store and get it. And I really just miss, you know, the old school drug dealers that, you know, you'd have to go to like somebody's creepy house, and you'd have to like hang out with somebody who had like sort of bad dreads while they, you know, talked about 9 Inch Nails a lot. And then finally you got some weed with a lot of seeds in it. But my favorite place to get drugs was, of course, in an alley, you know. And, you know, luckily the guy also performed abortion. So he was multi-talented back there in the alley. But yeah, with everything changing, you know, it seems like for me, like going back to the sick, I was sick so much that I would go to my legal drug dealer, who was a pharmacist, or I would go to my legal drug dealer, but he insisted that I call him a pharmacist. Yeah. With the laws changing so much, you know, legal drug dealers are now the other people who are changing to legal drug dealers are drug dealers. So yeah. Yeah, there's with everybody, you know, homeostasis, there's a lot of like really healthy people out there. And I used to take a yoga class, and my yoga instructor was so healthy. I don't know what the deal is, but she wore these clogs, these like yoga clogs. And you can tell like who is really healthy just by the fact that they wear these clogs. Like people who wear clogs, you can tell like they do a lot of home juicing. Like they know what liquidized celery tastes like. Yeah. I feel like there was one more, and that's okay that there's not. And that was it. That was my forgotten notebook set. So yeah, that's it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Do people drink celery? Like celery juice?
Yeah, like people like a lot of kale. I was gonna say liquidized kale, but I feel like more people know celery. I feel like kale's a bit of an audience. Like if you go to California, you could say liquidized kale. If you go to other places, you could say celery. You know, keep it regional. I don't know. But kale's becoming hot, so maybe.
I'm just thinking about how much peanut butter you would have to put in a cup of celery, like to make it taste good. But I don't know. That's just how I seen people eating celery before, was putting peanut butter on it. I've never eaten it.
Well, it's a vessel. The celery is a utensil. That's like my favorite kind of diet. You just turn a vegetable into a utensil. It cuts the difference with the bad.
The cleanup, yeah, very easy. You don't got to clean up all those forks.
Yeah,
I would take like a red bell pepper and put peanut butter on it. It's pretty delicious. So you could kind of even say like a poor man's juicing is celery with peanut butter on it.
Or beer. Yeast.
Did you guys ever have ants on a log? Which was peanut butter celery with like raisins on it.
I dressed like ants on a log for Halloween. I made a costume that took me 10 hours to make of ants on a log. And then my landlady took it out of the basement once and I lost it. It was the most amazingly beautiful costume ever. I want to recreate it someday.
That sounds awesome.
Ants on a log rocks. Because it's a snack that kids can make. Okay, I'm not gonna be so nerdy, but it's a really good snack. It's a constructive snack. It teaches fine motor skills.
I would put cranberries on it, craisins, so it'd be red and black ants on a log.
I think I just realized why I'm so dumb, because I never got the class on making ants on a log. And I lost those motor skills.
It's a mother's love that taught me ants on a log.
Oh, I don't know about you, my mom's watching, so she's going to be angry now that she just realized that.
Yeah, watching her son smoke inside.
There are all sorts of ants on a log. You can, I think anything can be ants and anything can be a log. I've seen Cheese Whiz be the adhesion for raisins or chocolate chips or nuts. I think ants in a log is whatever your mama tells you it is.
Right, it's like shit on a shingle.
Yeah.
You guys ever have shit on a shingle as a kid? Do you know what SOS is? I think it's one of those things that varies by region, but if you eat it, it means that you grew up poor.
My mom's SOS.
Everyone's like me in my story because we're all like that. That's why we're here.
Go ahead.
Well, it's shipped beef on toast, Jester. I don't know if you ever had that. It's just like white gravy, some like cheap ham on like mixed together on toast.
No, I used to
call that
vomit on a
biscuits
shard
and
of glass.
gravy.
It's very similar.
But I just looked up.
That's what we call maple syrup.
There's a 3-step recipe to ants on a log. I can post that in the chat box if you guys want to make some later.
I don't need a tutorial on that. Even if I had never learned how, you take one look.
It's actually 4 steps, but the last one says enjoy. So
enjoy.
Yeah, it's enjoy.
It's the last one.
Oh, you enjoy it as the first, second, and third step too, because making it is fun.
Yeah, but
I just want to go back to your costume real quick. I just remember Minty, the candy cane that fell on the ground from Conan. Like that's what I think that would remind me of. It was this huge. It was this guy who wore a huge candy cane, and then on the back of it was huge ants.
Oh my
Like,
God, that sounds
plants.
great.
Yeah,
I need to look that up. That's hilarious.
it's
Fell on
really
the ground.
funny.
That's what that is.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, it breaks my heart that it's gone though. I can't even think about it. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It had like a pool noodle around the neck, and it was like a dress, and had a pool noodle bell around the bottom, and then it was just this like beautiful green fabric and like gold silky velvet, and then it just like, I mean, you can imagine what it was like. I even found a little girl's tutu in Walmart. It was lime green, and I turned it upside down and made it into a hat. But anyway, thanks for letting me relive that. It's really important to my healing process. Namaste.
There wasn't a whole lot of response to my jokes. So
I know, right? Sorry. Hey, you brought it.
inside. I asked
Was your
about
word
it.
was
So that's good.
homogeneous? Was it homeostasis or homogeneity? Or homogeneous?
Homeostasis. Just I was sick a lot. That's all it was.
Homeostasis.
All right, you guys, are we ready for round 2? Yes,
think so,
Jeremy. Round 2.
Oh, I gotta go first again. I was just about to watch the cotton candy, or the cane, whatever.
Oh
okay.
my God.
He's got a cigarette butt stuck in his head. Okay.
Yep. All right, round 2.
Just like
guys.
Jamie Wagner on the workshop.
So, normally this part of my set happens in the middle or the end of the set, but I'm going to start with 4 minutes of awkward silence. Actually, I'm not. I prematurely ended this. Well, I ended early. Some people are dicks and they say premature, but that's just mean. It's weird. So, like they say, if a person is lonely or depressed, they will sleep with more than one pillow. And I have 4 pillows, but it's not like that because each one of the pillows that has a purpose. I have like a long pillow for cuddling. I have a lumpy pillow, which really doesn't have a purpose. I got a skinny pillow, which, again, that one doesn't have a purpose. And I got a little pink fart pillow. You guys got a fart pillow? It's a pillow that you fart into when you're sleeping. And it's pink, you know, to remind you not to put it near your eyes. It's a fart pillow. So I live in Vietnam, and my housemate, she comes to me and she says, I got dengue fever, which is like a mosquito-borne spread virus. And she said, don't worry, it's not contagious from person to person. But we live next to the river that is stagnant in a country that farms mosquitoes to the surrounding countries. So, of course, it's contagious. So I was worried about getting dengue fever because they say that the second or the third time you get it, the symptoms get worse and it could lead to death. And I done gay like 2 years ago with a lady boy. It's not something I want to do again, and the symptoms get worse. But I did get dengue fever, and some of the symptoms that I got, I was feeling tired. You can look at my eyes and see that I'm always tired. The other symptom was loss of taste. So I ate ass for the first time, which was, you know, I wouldn't say it was tasty because I couldn't taste anything. The other thing I bought with no taste was the Adele CD. I just went out and bought that. So it puts the whole perspective, hello from the other side. You're eating at, hello, it's me. I've tried 1,000 times to tell you that I farted. So it was weird. So end this with a story about a guy I know. His name's Trice. Trice is a dinosaur. He goes by Trice because he hates his parents, the Triceratopses. And Trice, he's got 3 horns. He's got his nose horn pierced. He's got pictures of swallows on his chest because he's a free spirit. And he's also got a picture or a tattoo of an anchor on his body because he's grounded. And these are happening before sailing was ever invented. And Trice, he's a herbivore because herbivores know where to get the good weed. And he sits at the desk at his house all day, publishing blogs and doing podcasts, but everybody knows nobody listens to that shit. So you guys don't start one. But Trice is trying to help the world with his podcast. He's trying to save the world from a meteor that's going to come down and kill the whole planet. But nobody listens to him. And on the day when the meteor comes, Trice is covered in patchouli oil in his parents' basement saying Om. And he survives the explosion. And he goes outside to survey the damage and find the survivors. And there's none. It's just him. So basically, I'm trying to say Trice, the hipster dinosaur, was walking the earth before it was cool. Jester stole my punchline earlier. That's all I got.
All right.
I didn't understand why you're pronouncing it Denge instead of Denge until you made the play on words.
Yeah. Well, I think it can be pronounced either way. Like tomato. I think so. Or favorite, like the British people pronounce favorite with an extra U. Or color.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like, it's a little problematic.
It's just Denge. Sorry, I just Googled it. It's Denge, but okay.
Google gives you the American pronunciation of a word as opposed to the other pronunciations
my Google
of a
thinks
word.
I'm from.
Because Google's from America, so Google
British
gives you
is
the
dengue.
American English.
Okay, British is Dengue. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I was gonna say about your pillows. You know, you're talking about having more one pillow. You're lonely, and then at the end of your pillow thing, you could be like, they all have a name, and then you're like, this is my fart pillow, and his name is this. Like really, really dig in to the pillow and how sad they are. So, and then the pink pillow, or other people have a fart pillow. It's called a mattress. So.
Okay, I like that. You may have a fart pillow. It's called a mattress.
I'll be honest. I thought of about 3 jokes that you then told, and
I missed something about the pillows. Of course, if you sleep with 4 pillows, it's kind of difficult to remember which pillow gave you the good night's sleep. And if you sleep with 4 pillows, you also have to have sex with 4 pillows. So that was not good, but it's in there.
All right. Yeah. I think you got some stuff to work with. Sounds good.
Thanks.
All right, Jester, you ready?
Yeah.
I didn't get to hear any of your stuff. Are you going to do the same thing where we give you suggestions?
You know what? I wanted to try something real quick, but it's going to require a quick sound check real quick. I had written... I woke up in the middle of the fucking night the other night, and I had this like Grinch, how the Grinch Stole Christmas, like gangster rap, like in my head that I had like written it. I was like, oh, I need to do this. So I want to try this. I wrote some of it. I want to see if you guys can hear this. Hold up. I'm going to play it over my speakers, and then I'm going to hope that carries well. Okay. Let me know if you guys can you hear it as this?
It's very quiet.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay, hold up. Give me 1 sec here.
It's building.
Okay. Okay, how about now?
I can hear his voice a little bit, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hold up. Let me feel this for a sec.
Yeah, what?
Okay, here we go. More onions and layers than Shrek. He be spitting more fire than heck. He got the tippity. Oh, god damn it. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to do that.
Did you
Hold on, let
just
me
do it
that.
without the
I'm not doing the
music?
sound bite.
And
I'm just going to read the lyrics. I just want
Yeah,
some-
without the music
Okay.
is good.
Yeah, without the music. I'm sorry. The audio issues are fucked up. Okay.
take it at your own pace.
More onions and layers than Shrek. He be spitting more fire than heck. He got the tippity top of the tech. He absolute magnet to opposite sex. Cause he's mean and he's green. He's obscene, man. I seen it. I mean it. He's crazier than Charlie Sheen. Busting out grappling hooks, getting the who's all shut, calling the mayor up for being a crook. Rewrite the history book. And guess how long it took? Less time than it takes for a can of who hash to cook. When Christmas arrives, he's already inside and he's grabbing boxes just like 45. And they say that his heart grew 3 sizes that day and his stamina is already fucking insane. He's like Hulk, only hairier, meaner and scarier, strongest avenger of Christmas hysteria. He got a pole 39 and a half, and if you sing in carols, he bring in the wrath. He made it the stink from the ring around your bath. And when he's in public, you won't wear a mask. He got hatred for Whoville, who hated his ass. Showed the who's what is what and how that was fast. When the Grinch comes to play, best get out of his way, because when it's Christmas Day, then your ass better pray. But please do it quietly, shit, even silently, because if the Grinch hears it, he's acting out violently. Shit, I need some rehearsal on that.
No, that's good. That's clever.
I need to work out the sound issues on that shit.
I caught grabbing boxes like 45.
Yeah.
That was good.
When Christmas arrives, he's already inside, and he's grabbing boxes just like 45.
And then there's the
There's the upside down cat.
I think that's a good place for the hook. You know,
Yeah.
like
Busting out
he's
grappling
a
hooks.
Grinch, you know,
All
whatever.
shook, calling the mayor out for being a fucking crook. Rewrite a history book, and guess how long it took? Less time than it takes for a can of who hash to cook.
Oh,
I think you should say it slow like that next time. Don't
That's
try to
why
say
I was
it
trying
really
to get
fast.
the turntables and That's why I was trying to get the fucking turntables working and shit. And get the BPM. Because like the BPM's way too fucking high. I wrote this killer ass beat, and it's just like, no, I need to do more cocaine.
Slow it down.
All right, I'll be right back, guys.
More onions and layers than Shrek.
Alicia's
He's spitting
gone.
more fire than heck. He got the tippity top of the tech. Absolute magnet to opposite sex. Because he's mean and he's green. He's obscene, man. I seen it. I mean it. He's crazier than Charlie Sheen.
So what makes him a magnet to the opposite sex? Or is that
Have you
just
seen
something
the
that
movie?
sounds good?
Have you
No,
seen the movie? Have you seen the movie where like
like
the
it?
mayor's wife is like got like a huge motherfucking heart on for the Grinch, and she like
Oh,
the
you're talking about the new version.
the entire for like 2.5 hours because it's like a Ron Howard length feature. She's just making bedroom eyes at him like biting her lip.
That's the
and shit.
Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey was the Grinch.
Yeah, that's the Jim Carrey version. That's
seen
a
that.
version
I haven't
about
seen
that I
that.
wrote about. Isn't there like a version with like Drake or some shit? There's like a new one.
I just know the cartoon version. That's the cartoon version, and then the real life version.
Yeah. Well, I give Ron Howard a whole lot of fucking props for like turning what is it like a 18-minute like cartoon based on like a 12-page book into a 2-hour and 20-minute like Ron Howard movie. I got a couple other jokes about a couple of other Christmas movies. Have you ever seen It's a Wonderful Life? It's a terrible movie. The only reason it was ever played was because it was literally free to put on the air because the publishers abandoned it. And I don't even like the main character. What's old George's like turning around point? He sees his little daughter Zuzu at nearly 23 years old, and look at her. She's in a library. Why, there's not a husband in sight. Clarence, I need to live again. I need to stop my daughter from pursuing a career. Ultimately, though, my favorite Christmas movie is Jingle All the Way. You've got two men, an upper middle class white man and a working class black man, Sinbad and the Governor, and they are essentially doing the same thing the whole time, same place, same disregard for the law, but at the end, one is held up for a hero and the other is arrested. I am not making a great case for this being a less sad movie than It's a Wonderful Life, but it's got a lot of fun things in the background. Anyways, those are some of the other Christmas movie jokes I have.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, I assigned my own random topics today.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I like the holiday jokes around the holidays. For your Grinch thing, I think it was really good. I just think like now all you need is like the hook. Somebody singing.
Finish it out.
Yeah, somebody singing.
Oh, it does need a hook.
Yeah, like somebody, singing, he's a Grinch, whatever. Like somebody with a good voice.
Yeah.
The Supremes or the Pips or whoever the background singers to follow up.
Because like I don't like Shaggy's music for him. I like it for the backup singers. So that's a very good point.
Or you could like a rap video of somebody yelling.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking more like Nicki Minaj or whoever in Whoville. Da, 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 da. Something like that, like that kind of hook. That's what I was thinking.
Take it all.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good idea.
Something like that.
It needs a hook. I'll work on that.
That's fun. God, I remember having to watch It's a Wonderful Life in a lot of film classes. We had to take that apart too many times. So
I hate it. Fun. Here's an unfun fact about that movie. All of the set dressing, the snow, is made out of asbestos.
Ew. Gross. Here's a unfun fact. Jimmy Stewart is like terrible.
Yeah.
You just choose the scenery. It's pretty bad.
An actual bad man. And let's watch this. Let's watch this Christmas movie about contemplating suicide and bank fraud and children having a disastrous like injury that like leaves him permanently deaf. And let's return to that timeline, by the way.
Mm.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's a good end of the joke. It's wonderful. It is. Yeah, some good stuff there. I like the rap a lot. Have you heard David? Is his last name Anderson? Jolie, who runs the Red Mic? Parsons. Him and his WAP parody about Santa.
Yeah, you gotta get those bits.
When you said Anderson,
do them in the next week or sit on for a year.
Mm-hmm.
When you said Anderson, I've got like just in the general section about Christmas and holiday television jokes. I've got a section that says, "I'd love to see Anderson Cooper, Andy Cohen, and Graham Norton together at the same time, but I'm worried that it could create a fierce black hole, and then all of the sass in the universe might reach critical mass." I'm genuinely just unironically excited about watching Andy Cohen get Anderson Cooper just absolutely shit-faced on New Year's Eve. It's a tradition.
I refuse to watch that after they fired Kathy Griffin. I'm sorry. I feel like it's super boring.
I know, that was weird too. I want all the three of them. That could be, oh man, that would be extra.
So boring. I don't like Andy Cohen, so I just kind of flip over.
I like him because he just pushes Anderson Cooper to be fun. Anderson Cooper would be fun if he weren't like a consummate professional, but Andy Cohen's like, yeah, be fun. He just pushes him there. I like
Sherry O'Terry came back as Barbara Walters like last year. Yeah.
And he was
on the
making jokes about ostensibly his mom's friend. Like, of course he was dying laughing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That guy is huge. What's your cat's name?
Oh, this guy? I thought you were still talking about Anderson Cooper.
His
name is James. He's a long boy. And he's got extra fingers.
Look at that. He's got little,
like
so
a mitten. Plays saxophone.
He's got a mitten.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He started off as a shoulder cat. So he's been really desensitized to danger, and he's a flopper.
What's that cat doing on your shoulder? Arr, it hates me, parrot.
Did you hear that joke? Is that
All right. How are we feeling? Good to move on to Jolie or Long Cat?
I want to hear a set from Long Cat.
Yeah.
All right, James. I knew it. You know, we moved to LA together last year, and it was a question of who was going to be famous first. We made a pact. We made a pact. Whoever got the first contract, the other one would be their agent. And who got the first contract, huh? It was James. If by contract we mean that the coffee food truck in Echo Park at Echo Park Lake wanted to put him on their Instagram.
Oh.
So yeah,
Nice.
he was terrible at negotiating the contract though. But it was really fun to have him in LA because I lived in Highland Park, and it's like a very residential place, and it's full of hipsters with kids. Lots of like screenwriters' wives, and they would all go out to the playground on the corner with their children, and they'd be talking about their kids, like, oh, my son just drew a perfect circle this week. Oh my God! And that's when I realized that it is really like human babies are worthless, just absolutely worthless. And you don't really want to, like, you can't say that, but you can show it. You can show them, and maybe you'll be like intervening a little bit to say, like, well, like your son's 3 and like he can draw, he can hold a crayon, but my son is like 12 weeks old, and he's walking on the top of fences and fighting raccoons behind the dumpster. So, like, and he knows good touch, bad touch, and he learned it from your child physically molesting him. His mama watched. So, anywho, yeah, calling back to like talking about beer and fermentation. So when I was in LA, I was like pretty much living in a beer truck, pretty much. And it was LA. It was kind of living in the beer truck. But like there was a time once when we were in there, and it was very hot. There was no AC. It was just like sweat, constant sweat. That poor guy, he looked like he was being like, I never knew that cats could pant like a dog. And boy, when other people see that, it really triggers them. But he was thirsty once, or at least he was like, meow, meow, I'm so thirsty. And I poured him out some beer because that was all we had. And that's when I realized like he wasn't really that thirsty. So that was a moment of truth with us. Because I feel like James, we had the talk, like, honey, like you can't pull mommy's leg, okay? Like if you're really thirsty, you'll drink the beer. Won't you? So that's like the kind of relationship that we have. But we're fine now. Okay, I like just talked for a few minutes, so I'm probably almost done talking. Let's see, what can we talk about? So the holidays are coming. The holidays are the time of year when you realize that you're the one who fucked up. Like out of your whole family, right? I feel like this is something that I can connect with other comedians about. I am definitely the one who fucked up in my family. I don't know when it was, but I did. So I don't know how, but like I continue to fuck up when it comes to gift giving. Like it really is a moment of truth with me because I see my capabilities and like I hear my internal monologue thinking about what to buy. And that's when I realize that like I am just not of this earth. I cannot tell you how many times I have bought a present and then after I wrapped it, I looked at the way I wrapped it and I thought to myself, no, you can't send this. Like, this wrap job, like last year it was brown paper. And it was like, well, by brown paper, I mean, it was like inside out grocery bags, right? And like painter's tape. And like there's nothing materially wrong with that. But I just like, I don't know. Like I really hate corporate capitalism and I just don't do with the niceties of it. I just can't. I can't buy into it. And for this year, for the first time, my family just did not put me on the gift exchange list. I think. I mean, I did get the text about it. And last year I got the text like the day after Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty sure they took me off. which is great. It's like a gift for all of them from me. I hope they realize, like, qualitative. It's like the season of giving and of not giving, and like not giving, it holds as much weight as giving when it's me who's not giving. It is a gift that I'm not part of the gift exchange. I hope they can see that. Yeah, I've been talking for some time. Should I just stop talking, or should I want me to do like a couple actual jokes?
Yeah.
Or should I be done? Should I be done?
Do your
Sure.
2 jokes. For sure.
Okay, so these are 2 that I'm working on. Okay. So I don't give advice to parents. I don't think that you should. And it is one of the reasons that I really do not talk to my siblings. But I think that we need to raise our boys to be ticklish. Like really ticklish. Because there are no ticklish rapists. None. Believe me, I've tried.
God, that kills me.
Right.
Namaste. So I used to be married, it didn't even last 2 years. It was a shorty. If I was in school, if I was in beautician school for as long as I was married, I would not legally be allowed to cut your hair. So any Hoosiers, but it didn't last 2 years, but he did give me a 1.5 year gift. It was nice. 1.5 years. I still remember it. We were in the bathroom. It was before we were going out on a date. And we had just never been able to communicate well. We just couldn't understand each other's cues. We were really getting on each other's nerves. And the gift he gave me when I was like getting ready to go out, it was a nice razor. You know? Like, whoa. I was like, honey, like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do first? Huh? Do you want me to shave my legs for you? Do you want me to shave my pussy for you? Or do you want me to fucking kill myself? Huh? And he snatched it away from me, and that's when he showed me that when you open it up, it has 3 blades. So, okay, that's all I got for now. Thanks.
Ticklish racist kills.
Is that
me
3
to
blades?
death. Oh my god. That was the funniest fucking shit I've ever heard. Oh my god, that's
3 blades, so you can do each one of those things, or
Yeah, I need to like flesh, and I need
there's
to flesh
enough
these
blades
out
to
and,
do
figure out.
each one of these.
Right. That's kind of what I was implying. Yeah. Like I need to figure out how to kind of lead up to each one, or like lead out of each one in a way that adds like understanding to it. Because I think you're right. Like that one, Jeremy. I think it's like a little obtuse. Like,
But I mean, it's funny though because it's 3 blades, so it's more expensive. That's the ones they have behind the counter that you have to like get somebody to get for you. So it's very clever.
Right.
Well, that's
you
also
could milk more out of the 3 blades reveal if you didn't introduce it as an expensive razor. If you just introduced it as a
She didn't. Yeah, she didn't say anything about it being pricey or anything. She just said it was 3 blades.
I thought she did.
I feel like when I
don't
say
believe so.
razor, every time I say just razor, I wonder, is it specific enough that people imagine a razor that you shave with? Or does
I think you did like a motion like that, and then you also, the first thing you said was shave your legs, so I think that it can be implied after that. But yeah, maybe. I mean, but I think most people, nobody associates like having the old school razor where you just buy the blade and put it in. I have one of those, but nobody has those. So, I mean, I don't think many people think about razor blades except for like drug addicts or fucking people who really use them all the time, which is not that many people. So I would say it would. I would believe that it would infer shaving
It would
razor.
be somehow
Is it a
funny
true
if
story?
he was inferring that from like a lady Bic or
Is it a true? That is true.
It's a true story, but it was actually not a three. It was not a 3-blade razor. It was one of the ones Jeremy's talking about. It was one of the ones that like you open it up and it literally has a straight razor inside it.
That was okay. That might. I was.
But he
thinking,
did give it to me, and like I
that
wrote it
might
down the
be-
next day 5 years ago, and I'm still thinking about it. So.
Okay, so I like that. There's a higher stakes with a straight blade razor, and
They're
and
difficult. They're difficult to use.
Yeah, they're difficult to use. I don't. And the reveal could be, but it's Eddie Bauer, or like, but it's Gucci. You know, it's like, do you want it to use it on my Gucci? Is that like, you know, or like, you know, you could play around with that. I like,
maybe make it clear that it's an older, that it is that type of razor. It wasn't a lady Bic. It was
an old school razor where you have to put in the straight edge razor. Yeah, I don't know. I would say give more detail if that's what you want to do, is talk about it being that.
I always like specificity, and a straight blade razor really ups the stakes.
Yeah, I think
when I think of a straight blade, I think of the shaver that the they would shave your neck with or shave your face at the barbershop. That's what I would think, straight blade. So maybe just like replaceable blade, or like, I don't know. I think you just call it old school razor.
What were you gonna say, Jolie?
Well, I think that this joke can be built up with me talking before it about how I'm just an unreliable feral person. Cause like I don't mind getting hairy, and that's like my favorite thing about being single. Yeah.
If it's in a
like I will literally dull a blade on like one swipe of my leg. It's done, and I have to like get another razor. You know. So, but I feel like I have material that I could use prior to that to kind of establish his like animosity about that, like unspoken animosity about that, maybe.
If it's later in your set and you've used bits that will establish what we expect from your responses to those sorts of situations and what that other character's like, then there's more opportunities to like, you know, play with and flip expectations. And it won't be just generally like ambiguously and confusingly shocking. I was interested.
I like that sometimes. But, I got you. Yeah.
But you want to be.
You could also write something about the Bic razor. Like, before, I've gotten Bic razors for Christmas, and they didn't stack up or whatever. And so then you could explain that this is the old-fashioned heavy-duty thing where you just wash it out very easily and continue to use the blade forever.
So then what becomes the basis of the joke for that? Because my joke was like the ambiguity of having to shave my legs and kill myself with a razor. I feel like if I get too specific about the razor,
set it up.
I don't know.
I
early,
think the
like that would be an early in the set thing.
Which is what Jester was talking about, setting up some other bits ahead of time and then revealing this. So that's what Jester was talking about. Jester, you had something else to say too.
I'm not worried about you killing yourself with like a 3-bladed razor because they got like the safety frame and all that shit. But you can bring that whole comedic volume into play with a straight blade razor. In fact, it's almost assumed. You can threaten him with it. You can threaten yourself with it. You can also shave your pussy with it. Maybe that's all part of the.
I love the word pussy. I love it. It's a great word. It's as good as vagina is not good.
Right? I think it's a very cute word.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
so cuddly.
Louis C.K. has a good bit about the word pussy and how it's just like pink balloons.
I don't know.
All right. I think we all know that the ticklish rapist was pretty good.
Yes.
And the sincere ass look on your face. I've tried it. Like that kind of takes the cake. So yeah, awesome job on that. I think we all know.
Thanks.
I did have a couple of tags. Like you were like, this wrap job, was so whatever. It might as well have been a rim job or something like that, to kind of go along with that. And then your cat, he's like, getting in fights in the back. He's doing this, like in comparison to a baby or whatever. He's getting things done. So
Right.
just a little tag on that. Yeah, those are the two things. I know that was just kind of you talking, but still good stuff. So
Thanks.
yeah, awesome. Some good stuff there.
Yeah.
So anything else, Jester? Any other response?
Nope.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to my set. Hopefully it'll be all right. I haven't super practiced, but yeah, I come from a very small town. It doesn't matter which one, because they're all the high school sports scores are front page news. Everybody either has kids or has a lot of kids. And yeah, chances are, somebody will name their kids Dallas or Austin or both, and they will never go to Texas. Chances are you're going to have a high adrenaline name. Chance, Chase, Ryder, Hunter, Danger. Chances are they're all going to be in the same carpool. Yeah, chances are someone will be named after a type of cheese. I know 9 Colbys and 1 Pepper Jack. He's a little off. Yeah, after college, I actually ended up moving back to that small town. And I knew that I had been there a little too long when I went to my local bar and I looked around and I realized that I had slept with 1% of the people in the room. Yeah, not 1, not 2, but so many out of 100. I don't need to tell you how percents work, but it was kind of a lot. And that's kind of when I knew I needed to leave. I also knew because of alcoholism. But yeah, after that, I ended up moving to California, and they are very healthy there. Real sea salt of the earth kind of people. One time I was invited to a vegan potluck, which was surprising because I didn't think they ate food. And if you're ever invited to a vegan potluck, do yourself a rock solid and eat before you go. Because when you go to a regular, like Midwest potluck, there are casseroles as far as the eye could see. Many, many salads with a mayonnaise base. The variety of desserts is overwhelming. Apple bars, lemon bars, granola bars, so many bars. When you leave one of those potlucks, you are so full you feel like you're gonna die. When you leave a vegan potluck, you're hungrier than when you arrived. I think part of it is that sometimes it's not recognizable as food. One time I went to a vegan wedding and I had a piece of the vegan wedding cake, And it was so dry that it tasted like a piece of ceiling tile laced with Trump-approved asbestos. I took 2 bites and I was like, man, I am a good friend. And that is what I have. So, yeah. That's what I got.
Fun stuff. Visually scintillating. I like that. I like jokes that really paint a picture, because then if you're not on the point where people are laughing because you're just setting it up, like it's still a feast for the senses and it's still entertaining. So nice work with that and the listing of the descriptions. So you were talking about how you slept with the percent of the guys. Okay. Analytically, my suggestion to you is to use the word portion instead of percent. Because you said out of 100, you can understand, but like a percent of 100 is still just 1. And you used 100 as like the amount of people in the room. So that makes it seem small. But if you would choose to use the word portion, you can also make plays on the word shares and helpings. And I think that could help to flesh out the joke and add more nuance to like what it feels like to be in that situation. I think that portion has like other
big helping of this room. I don't want any more helpings from this room or something. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Or like just like because you then go into the potluck thing. So I think like it's actually a good segue if you can like objectify the guy. Like the analytical stuff. It's like I think when you objectify it can be funnier. I don't know. And then when you
sense.
oh yeah, sorry.
I've had my
when you
fair
said somebody,
share.
Just keep going.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
We're
talking.
Is it okay if Joey goes first, Jeremy? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Then
But I'm just going from joke to joke. I shouldn't, but I want to because I like Alisha. She's cool. Okay, so you're talking about so many bars, and I feel like bars so you're talking about this this like anomaly where there are so many bars at the potluck. Like, I feel like there's something you can do there with the word bars and like how the bar itself is like a surrogate for like some other kind of like deficit or like addiction that people have, or like I don't know. It seems like some connection there. And then when you leave a vegan potluck, you're blank. I was thinking, so hungry that you could eat a cow. Or like something that's like super unvegan, like if they're really if you're so hungry during a vegan potluck, like they don't even understand how much they're amping you up and making you want to eat. Like it just so happens that the inverse effect of being subjected to a vegan potluck is that when you leave it, you're like more ravenous than you have ever been before, and you will like murder like creatures for sustenance.
You just go for the raw meat. Just have raw meat.
Right. You could eat a cow. Like you could eat a cow. You could go and find a cow and murder it and consume it. All in the name of vegan potluck. Okay, that's all I got.
On the topic of amounts of people that are funny to have slept with, I wrote down maybe you could have possibly slept with a quorum of the people there. I know that that's an exaggeration, but then you could be like, and I had to get out of there before they started making group decisions because I had slept with the voting majority of the people there.
Oh, a quorum? I'm not familiar with that word.
A quorum. that's parliamentary procedure. A quorum is an overriding majority. I think a quorum in the Senate is considered 60% or 60 out of 100 senators.
The super majority.
Is pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Like, I've like added it up. Yeah, I've slept with the majority of them. Yeah, just so you don't want them to start putting you never want the majority to start putting the pieces together, or they're going to be voting against you.
Yeah,
you gotta skedaddle.
Majority. What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
I thought a quorum had to do with like prostitutes. Like a quorum. The king had there you go. That's the word.
He had a harem.
You said, yeah. Okay.
Which
I'm
also
retarded.
would
They got
work.
him.
I slept with a harem.
So you said
full of
that
dudes.
when you said that you leave the regular barbecues, you leave full. I thought you leave with your pockets full. Like of course you're full because there's a lot of food, but you leave with your pockets full of bars, like apple bars, lemon bars. I don't know. In your pockets.
Maybe take some bars with you. You leave with leftovers.
Yeah. You got like a bag full of casserole in your pocket. I don't know. I mean, that's how we used to go to the buffet. You'd bring plastic bags and steal cookies and shit.
Mm. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think with the bars, I kind of want to go in a different direction where it's like lemon bars, apple bars, like a thicker accent on
Martini
the word
bars.
So, but yeah.
Other cheeses that can be women's names in Texas: Brie, Aura, Olivet, and Velveeta. I don't know, maybe in Houston.
I could say Velveeta. I feel like that could be a girl's name.
I think Brie. I've definitely known a couple of people in Texas named Brie as well, like in real life. I short for Brianna, but that soft cheese.
They went by Brie. Yeah.
They were both just as both Brie the cheese and Brie the people were super white and creamy.
Yeah. Poor thing. All right. Well, I think we got some good stuff. Is there anything you guys want to promote? Jester, you got anything coming up? Any online?
No. Unless you want to attend my family Christmas, which is going to be weird. Don't.
All right. Any social media you want us to follow you?
No. I just do corporate stuff.
Okay. Don't follow Jester at all.
No.
Not on Facebook, Instagram. Don't do it. All right. Cool. Jeremy,
my
you got
Instagram
anything
is all.
up?
I will. Wait. I will promote my Instagram. It's all etch a sketches.
All right. All right. Super
I'm with
cool.
Jester for nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like he's. What is your Instagram?
Yeah. Don't read all that. It's okay. SWAGOTGAWS.
The enthusiasm
It's difficult
is
to
overwhelming.
explain.
Yep. Jolie, do you got anything coming up you want people to know about?
I host a mic on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Blue Mic, and there's that and a bunch of other mics you can register on Rampantly, which is the platform that I built that lets hosts do their listing and stuff. You should check it out. It's cool, and it's about to be like accessible to anyone who wants to manage a mic. Basically, it's like slotted, except when you sign up, like all the people have their pictures and their name and where they're from. And hosts can reorganize stuff with hosting tools. And there's like a host dashboard where you can manage your mic and see like fun facts and shit and keep notes. And I just made it because I was unemployed during COVID and really love comics. So check it out.
Nice.
Yeah, Blue Mic's on Tuesday nights. Big D is a mic on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a broken relationships mic being hosted by two other people, but I'm producing it. And then Red Mic is on Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern. That's like basically just a fun mic. And we also have a Spanish mic called Bromitas on Tuesdays, or it's going to be moving to Thursdays, and we're having a Spanish joke workshop and Spanglish. So there's English and Spanish at the mic, but if you want to practice either language, you can come. That's all on rampantly.la.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. Lots of I like the different languages that you guys are doing. I have 2 shows coming up. I have the Holly Jolly Comedy Jamboree put on by Dan Boulis Jr. That's going to be on Friday. You can just donate any amount that you want, and you'll be able to watch the show that way. And then also on Saturday, I have the Cutest Uterus show that is live, but then it is also streaming. So definitely check that out and follow me on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. It is a hilarious name, as those two made clear. All of the things that you just heard about, social media, all that, that will also be in the comments on the show. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That was the workshop. Good time, good feedback, and